Let's wait for some folks to get in here before we get started. Uh, Hope everybody's doing all right. This is my first little live in a car, wife's car. It's kind of nice. Not gonna lie. This is nice. I don't know if you can hear me halfway decent with the regular microphone, but turn that. Oh man, wait for that. That's yeah. All right. I don't know if this will get sent out to anybody, but we'll wait for one or two to get in here and then we'll get started. All right, guys, what's going on? Um, whew, it's been a day. Had a Wife's had some medical issues today, and actually, she's had a really bad kidney stone. Started about 5 a.m. and we were able to get her taken care of. Thank God we didn't have to take her to the hospital. Um, what we did is actually had some stuff saved over from last time, had some medicine, had ibuprofen, Tylenol, Flomax, stuff like that, and was able to take care of her. Definitely able to make sure that she was good, and thank God we did because that saved us another like $300-400 at the emergency room. Just having some things on hand. Um, I've been I've kind of not made fun of the Patriot nurse, but I have always thought to myself, Patriot nurse, you don't know this. Well, you don't know situations and this and that. But man, having stuff on hand, it saved my butt, and having the proper things on hand and knowing how to use it can save you in a crisis like that. Um, like I said, just having regular things on hand. You know, just like I said, some Flomax, some Tylenols, some ibuprofen, and kind of switch around like that, and that saved us a ton of money. Um, I want to talk about like the upcoming collapse. Um, I do I think something's going to happen. I kind of do, and I'm really not trying to be an alarmist. I really am not. I want to be level-headed. I don't want to be the skies falling type of guy, but something's going to happen when it comes to our financial situation here in America. Um, I'm getting I see a lot of people talking about the Nashville race now, the mayoral race. Now I'm not in Nashville. I'm in East Tennessee around the Knoxville area. And what you'll know and what you'll notice is um, I live in a very conservative area. But here's the problem. People in this county that were born in this county like myself, um, we're not able to afford to live in this county anymore. Um, we a person that works over here at this aluminum plant um, can't afford a house here. Like can't afford a house across the street. Like brand new house can't afford it if he was starting from scratch, starting from nothing. And that's the problem. It's like things like this are not being addressed by the Republican Party, the conservative party. And who is addressing it, and it's worrisome, is the Democratic Party, is it's things like that are being addressed by the really the woke left. And that's a huge and major concern because the woke left, what they're doing, they are they're the only ones saying, "Oh, we'll pay for or we'll keep your housing low. We will freeze your rent. We'll do X and Y." And do I agree with them? No, I don't. Let me make that very clear. But they're the only ones saying that. And what happens is someone in the 25 to 35-year-old who has never had any all they've known of capitalism is this, where it's kind of screwed them. And if you don't think it's screwed them, it has. Um, they've been told to go to college, and that way they can get a job, and they did. And they came out with 250, $300,000 worth of student loan debt that they can never repay. They were told to um they were told to just go and save your money and you'll be able to afford a house. They can't do that now. I mean, little things like that, just over and over. You know, they were told that if they got a job as a plumber, they'll be seen as dumb. Meanwhile, Jeff from, third period is making 150, $200,000 being a plumber. And it's like, guys, what are you, you know, people have to understand that this is what the millennials are being told or were told. And there has to be like just some accountability for that, in the fact that we can't just ignore it. You can't just say, "Oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps harder." Guys, that's not going to work, and that's not working because what you see is you're seeing the folks in New York and again in Nashville, they're going to start voting for communists. And that's not cool. And that's not okay. And I don't have the answers for it. But that's what these communists are doing. And that's when you start having revolutionary things. Radical revolutionary things start happening when you just ignore the underlying signs. So, my concern is this housing market has to change. Plus, this thing with the stock market, with Nvidia and all that's going to be a big bubble. Um, that's a big concern, and you can't just rely on, okay, well, I'll just put my money instead of the stock market. I'll just put my money in bonds, TCARP. Well, uh, bonds are, you expect the U.S. government to continue to just crank out those debt bonds and be okay? Because let me just tell you straight up, guys, um, the US is 35, 36, 37 trillion dollars in debt. You know, we're gonna be just okay and just keep that money printing that money printer going. Man, I don't know about that. I just don't know. Um, the answers to it, I don't have answers. And that's the scary part is I don't have the, oh, you just do this and this. Man, just be ready, be prepared to be able to feed your family. Know how to hunt, know how to fish, know how to trap. And I know that's like, oh, that's easy for me to say. But guys, I learned from the YouTube. You want to know how I really learned? My dad didn't teach me. Dad was awesome, but he didn't teach me how to trap. Went Watched some YouTube videos, went out and tried for myself. When it came to hunting, dad taught me a few things, but my first deer I got with my buddy. Learned how to do all that myself. I recommend you guys do it too and figure it out. Learn how to keep some water on hand. Just learn how to do certain things. Everything will be, everything will be okay. Should tariffs be lowered? Again, tariffs are just a tax on the US, on the citizens. If you think that Toyota pays taxes or tariffs and doesn't just pass this stuff along to you, come on now. Like a Toyota Tacoma, if it's $55,000 and now there's 10% tariffs on it, I guarantee you it's going to go up to 60,000 to $65,000. So who's really paying the tariffs? Is it Toyota or you? That's my point. I'm not a believer in the tariffs. I'm just not. I think we need to have some hard conversations and not, you guys aren't going to like me when I say this, but I think that there's going to have to be some things in the government that we just say we can't pay for anymore. There's going to be some subsidized things that we just can't pay for. Um, it's like a good example is we can't pay for all this SNAP benefits anymore. Like we need to figure out like who really needs it, who doesn't. Um, I don't expect Social Security to be around for me. So at this point, that's got to end. And a lot of folks don't want to hear that. A lot of entitlement programs just need to go. And no one wants to talk about that. And no one wants to do that. And it's going to suck. But at some point, we all need to be able to, if we're going to bootstrap, if we millennials are supposed to pull ourselves up our bootstraps, that goes for everybody. And we need to stop and get off these entitlement programs. Just my opinion. Probably wrong, but I don't think I am. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. Like, subscribe. Hope everything's going good with you. This is TCARP.